girlfriend to run it.
No,
And one day, none of the cooks showed up, and she was the only one there.
Right,
And she
right.
was probably, I don't know, she
Well,
was
that's
maybe
not his
12
fault.
times.
It's just, it's not you.
And so she finally locked the door
Philosophy all he wants.
and
Well,
sat,
I
and
mean,
because she
nobody
kept
goes
trying to
wild.
call
For
somebody to
years
come
it was
help her.
open
And finally
Yeah.
got hold of the girlfriend. And she said, well, I can come down
Okay.
whatever time.
Let's get this
So
over with.
she locked the door and she said, I sat there and ate a whole pie while I waited for her.
That's my kind of gal. Oh, mercy. So is Matt coming? Did he say
Matt is
that?
not coming.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
let's pick you up.
Let's do
Oh
it
my
then.
gosh, I kept looking
I
at
know.
that. I am so sorry.
We'll
I'm
fix this
usually
bid.
right on.
We're either
right
on
on
We're
the
late.
time.
Well, we've been here a while, haven't
Well,
we?
I didn't look at the little hand. Okay, let's call this meeting to order and get this show on the road. Thank you all for being here in times of pandemic. I don't know about y'all, but I just can't wait to go places. It's kind of
This is
fun.
the
for
first
me to
time I've
get
been off my property in 2 weeks.
So we have no guests, or does anyone have any remarks before we get into our agenda? Nope. All right, so additions or changes to our agenda? None. So we'll go right to the reading of our minutes of our very lengthy June meeting. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes? Thank you, Keith. Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, so the minutes are accepted as written. And our financial report, this is always a fun one because it has the end of the year before, or the end of the last year, not calendar year, but our fiscal year. Do you have any questions or comments or anything about it? Yeah, everybody have a look. I had a couple. Lisa answered them in short order. So do we have a motion to accept the financial report? So thank you, Beth. Second? Jim, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Did he really do it?
He did.
Okay.
I did, okay.
Just checking.
Okay, thank you for that. We'll start with Lisa with the director's report.
I will just pull, and I will pull some of the team report stuff in.
Okay,
too.
because they were really great.
Yeah, they've done some great stuff, and the funny
Yes.
thing is that Courtney didn't even get a report in. However, that's the team, that's because she's working
And she doesn't have
nonstop.
time.
Yeah, she doesn't have time. So, I will mention that we have adjusted our hours, actually, I think a couple of times since we met last, to keep our pods, our squads, you got me calling them pods
I'm
now.
sorry.
To keep our squads intact was our initial reasoning for that, because we were doing Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday mornings, curbside only, with a handful of our part-time people. What we found is there's not a lot of traffic in those evening hours. After about 6 o'clock, it falls off. And we had some issues with those part-time people being able to come. And so we are going to adjust those hours now we're going to eliminate our Saturday hours for now. And then we're going to move back to 4 to 6 will be on Tuesdays and Thursday will be curbside only here. And we can accomplish that, we think, with one manager working and adjusting one of the current squad members to a 10-6 shift. So it does mean that some of our part-time people will not have hours currently until things pick up a little bit more. I do think some of this is a response to the uptick in numbers of cases, that people are more cautious about getting out. So that is something that we have just adjusted the numbers to try to match the traffic. I don't remember how many nights Alex has worked. I've worked a Saturday and several evenings, and it's just
Nothing.
nothing. Yeah.
Well, there's no sense having people here taking up the air.
Yes. Wanted to give you an update on our construction downtown. It is well underway now. They have done a lot of the demo work in our former offices and break room, and Alex's office is completely dismantled as well, or just about completely dismantled.
And
worked-
he still rocks it.
He
every
does.
single day.
Twice,
No office.
let me tell you, twice today, we had those moments where something wasn't working, and we tracked down Alex and had him come in. I said, all he has to do is walk in, and it miraculously starts working. That happened twice today.
That's not accurate at all, but okay.
No, I believe it.
I swear he was just let it go.
And then, they've also torn up out front, but they started pouring concrete this morning, so they have the walkway up to the front entrance poured, and they'll do the rest of it, I think, tomorrow, from what Andrew said.
Do you know what time that'll be? Because I'd like to come down and scratch something and see.
Now, I've already had the chat with the people that work down there, but I was they were threatening to go step on it,
I
yeah.
don't know, I always like to draw a little bunny.
Just walk through it, what the heck?
That's what they were threatening, the people who work down there were threatening to do, and I'm like, I'm gonna gather shoes and do comparisons.
Hers shouldn't be too hard to figure out.
Yeah, it's true.
Barefoot.
Yeah. So, but they have also started demolition, where the new offices will go, and tomorrow the ramp will start coming out in the back, so. A lot underway. Alex has been coordinating with our movement of data, which was a major undertaking as well. But that is all in the works. And I was just telling Gail, I met with our furniture people about getting the order placed for, in case it actually goes as quickly as they say it's going to go.
Hope springs eternal.
It does, yes, it does. So that's where we are on that. We have, if you haven't seen it, we did get the, what we used to lovingly call the monster. We got a wrap on it, and it looks really nice. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? What's the monster? It's our outreach vehicle that we bought
Oh,
a year ago.
Well,
I didn't know it was
actually,
called the
I saw it,
Monster.
and I thought, that is the
NV200
biggest
high
vehicle.
top
I'm
Nissan.
studying.
But everybody calls it the
realize.
monster.
Oh, you realized it was ours?
The
Yeah.
monster, eh?
Yeah, it's a
So what's
large
the wrap
vehicle.
say? Where
It
is
says read, play, and learn in 8 different languages.
I love that. That is very
It's very,
appropriate for
it's very
Warren County.
engaging. I mean, like, you could have a wreck trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I saw it, I told Lisa, I saw it. and I
Just
thought,
driving around?
that is so cool, yeah,
Oh.
that is so cool, and I'm really trying to figure out who it belongs to.
Hey,
Yeah.
if it's cool,
Yeah, of
we should
course.
be your default answer.
That's really
So,
neat. Who
yeah.
did it?
Megan, our
Okay.
graphics person, did the design, and she did a fabulous job
Oh,
as
that's
always.
Where is it?
It's parked down at Maine.
When it's not
Oh.
driving around.
When it's not driving around. And they have been, they've been taking it out with some of the feeding locations. So
Oh,
it's been
that's
at some of the Feeding America events, which this week we're doing Feeding America, is it Wednesday? At Lambton Park. But we've also got, Nick Wilkins gonna come out for us and do, balloon animals for the people in the cars as they're waiting.
Weather wait. That's cool.
So,
Do we have a new name for the ex-monster?
not really.
Oh, not yet. Have to wait till.
Wait for
it's-
something to stick.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's
just
like,
wanted to-
yeah, naming your dog. Before,
Yeah, I
you
know. Before you get it.
Yeah. So,
To live with it for a little
but
bit.
it's been a great addition to our programming this summer. They have also started going with the county school systems on Monday for sure, and then to hand out items from the library, kits from the library, and they went last Thursday because they asked if they could go help. And I don't know if you know any of the people who've been serving the lunches, but Gayla fussed at me a little bit because I said there are these little old ladies.
I went, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh, there's the monster.
And our crew went out and for the first time and met them where they were loading up, and they said it was like there was one cooler that had 26 half-gallon jugs of milk in it that these little old ladies were trying to carry.
I can only read one of
So
That's really cool.
it's very cool, yeah. But they went out and these ladies were trying to load up their vehicle to distribute lunches with. And,
These old ladies.
well, there were, yeah, three, like I said, there was one of the coolers had 26 half-gallon jugs of milk in it.
Nobody can pick that up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so our people came back and they were sweating a lot, but they were also very moved by these women because they did all this work and didn't complain about it. They
And
went
they
out,
don't make much money.
and they don't make much money. And they went to Lee Point where there were, I don't know, 2-year-olds
Oh, yeah, they're,
without any supervision coming barefoot out to get lunches
infant. I
or
mean,
to
they
get
can
food
walk.
for 12 people, one of them. And
Oh,
Courtney
my
was
goodness.
like, I couldn't help. She said, it was everything I could do not to scoop that kid up in my arms. But I kept saying, can we help carry the food to the houses for them? Which they did, because it would be, like she said, no kid and a 2-year-old trying to pick
oh,
up
they're
food
normal,
for.
if they can walk.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that, I mean, it's cultural, it's
Yeah,
not,
it's a cultural.
it's not a punishment thing,
No.
it's just.
Where's Lee Point?
How you describe it?
It's, do you know where the foundry is? That
Yeah.
general area?
Uh-huh.
It's over in that general
Okay.
area.
But they were so moved by that. They came back and they said, is there anything we can do for these ladies? So we put together goodie bags for these ladies who were just
There was pictures of
really-
families with them on their, carrying their meals
yeah,
on their heads. Because
And actually, the school's lunch bus broke down, and we had to put
Monster to the rescue.
Monster to the rescue. We loaded the library
Piece of
vehicle,
cake.
and the Parks and Rec had a vehicle out there too. We loaded them both up and did the next stop before they could catch up with a fixed vehicle for them. But it's really remarkable what some people are doing out there, and that's the school. The school system are providing those lunches, but
Wow.
these women and Courtney would say, they go, some kid would walk up and they're like, where's your neighbor? I haven't seen your neighbor this week, and and so they knew every kid and
who should be
who
coming
should be,
and picking up
so they were really moved by
But they
it.
listed the answer, and do you all
You
need something?
need to
Yeah.
make the monster backwards across the front of it like an ambulance.
So, but that's been, that, we reached more than 500 kids on that Monday. The Monday is the day that we were distributing activities for the children in those neighborhoods. And then Thursday, they just wanted to go back just to help. And so we did.
I think,
Somebody
I'm not
take
surprised, but
pictures.
that's remarkable.
Yeah, I know that's maybe vain, but by the same token, we never give credit to those who are out there in the front lines when it's 99 degrees out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean,
The
that,
little ladies, the library people, the families are coming walking to get their food.
well, somebody was out and took pictures at Lee Point, I think from the school system. But
Well, I saw
don't-
some probably from the schools where they were carrying their food.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure that the little ladies got their due credit, but I didn't look at the picture, so I don't know. but they
Besides
should.
Court, who comes from?
It was, well, it's been.
They're
sort of-
different people.
Yeah, but she's sort of
Lead dog.
lead dog.
Uh-huh.
Courtney, Laura Beth,
Uh-huh.
Veronica has been out,
What great ambassadors for the library.
yes,
Oh.
Tamara Dillard, who is one of our children's people, who has been working at Graham and has struggled with the thought of that it might change, but when she saw how many kids that could be impacted that way,
Uh-huh. Get a different.
yes. And I think that's the thing, is, it's not that we are abandoning these kids, it's that we're trying to reach more kids.
I love that.
Which, we can move on to that subject on my list if we want to.
Now's a good time.
Apparently, you all got the letter that I got from Abraham wanting us to not make any decisions yet until we met. So Gayla and I and Courtney are going to go meet with him tomorrow. And, this is something that we've been moving toward and probably is needed to happen for a long time, is moving toward closing that branch and finding a different way to serve that community, but other communities like it. We have an agreement with the Boys and Girls Club, which is right across from where we are. We are putting a collection there, and we will have a staff member there 2 afternoons a week and likely 1 morning a week. They have said that once this all passes over, that we can use their computer lab in the mornings before the children get there to be open to adults. We've also talked to Omar at the, Parker Bennett Community Center, and he was also loved the idea of having a collection there, and we would have somebody there one day a week. But then we would take all those other resources and put them into projects like this one, where we are going to communities where these kids are not coming. Right now, there are so few coming into that space. Well, not even right now, I'm gonna say before. We had a meeting, Jim Johnson and I had a meeting scheduled to meet with the playground about this. And it was like the day after they closed restaurants is when it was scheduled for. So, I mean, this is not because of COVID, this has been a long-term problem. We've never been able to make that a location that people came to consistently, not when it was Sugar Maple.
And especially to use the services.
Yes, exactly. In the summer, they'll pop in to cool off or, maybe play games on the computer. Last year, that branch circulated like 11,100 and something items, and almost 7,000 of those were DVDs. So it's not the homework help spot that everybody wants to think it. Yeah, everybody wants to think it is. It's not. That's not what it is.
What about though, Jim, that whole area is Abraham's baby, and if you take anything away, he gets upset.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether it was used or not.
Exactly.
He
That
doesn't
is
want anything
exactly-
taken away.
We've been in this place before, and every time he says, "Well, we'll bring people from the learning center.
No, they
We'll bring,"
don't.
and he'll bring them from the learning center for a week, and then it's
Back
done.
to where it
It's
was.
back to where it was.
Yeah, well, are we in his building?
We rent that space from him.
Okay.
So there's a financial piece
Well,
of
that's what I
it too.
think, are we reading between the lines here,
Well, I don't think he's doing it for a financial
No,
reason
it's
in all.
because Abraham.
It's
that's his
because,
baby,
yeah.
and
He has
doesn't want
ownership.
anything taken away.
It is the only
from the West
housing
End
authority
Development.
in the country with a public library branch in it. And that,
And there's a
and he
reason.
likes to tell people that,
Yeah.
but there's a reason for that. I mean,
Well,
So has he asked for data?
he's
himself?
not.
I just want,
But we have some to take with us.
Well,
So are you gonna meet with him tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
but the thing is with Abraham, and y'all know him, is he broadcasts, but he doesn't receive.
Yes, and he will broadcast a lot of negativity
Yeah.
about
Oh,
the
yeah.
library to
Oh,
the
yeah.
public as soon as this happens. And
Yeah.
But
I just-
we can be prepared with the numbers of the more people that we're serving with those trained staff.
Yeah,
No, you don't wanna engage in that.
no, we just,
He can broadcast it, just ignore it.
No, I'm saying if somebody
Well,
comes.
if
to
somebody
me-
comes to us,
No,
we
no,
know,
if somebody
yeah.
comes to me as a board member,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have,
We can have the reason, but don't
Exactly.
get into a newspaper.
No,
no, there's no reason
And
to
like
do
you say, I
that.
mean, this is long term, this is not
Yeah.
COVID. This-
well, just, as an
We've been
example,
talking
we've been in our
about COVID
current,
for a
for,
year.
we've
No,
been in
more
that
than a
current
year.
location for 15 years. And it's never worked. And we left the other one because it never really worked. We wished it would. I mean, we have tried everything we can think of.
it would be easier for us if it did work.
If it
and
did
we
work,
could
we'd
just
love it
use
if it
that.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, the reality is again, we're right next to the Boys and Girls Club, who does a fantastic job of what they do. And we've partnered with them a great deal this summer. And we can hit way more children working with just them alone than we are.
See, he
in the-
doesn't have anything to do with boys and girls.
That's true, yes.
but you have a very specific audience.
Ding, 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 ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
There's not a defined audience though for the library.
No.
I'm trying to figure out
Well,
what kind of
and in that
reason-
area, you've got the Boys and Girls Club, and you've got the community center, and you've got the learning center, and you've got Curbside Ministries. There's so much in that area. It's a very saturated area with opportunities. So we just want to take those opportunities and spread them across the county. And I will say that there is some talk among the library world on a federal level, and they are trying to get money for public libraries to be more aggressive in helping with hotspots, but in rural areas, which is,
Or underserved.
and I think that's one thing he's concerned about is the Wi-Fi availability to people in his area. But again, that's one area. There's They're
But
the
the
whole county
schools are
here.
also saying that they're going to help with hotspots,
Yeah.
both districts.
Yeah, oh, well.
So that may not be, even though we have that there, they don't come there to use it.
Right.
And if the district is gonna make, mobile hotspots available during specific times of the day or whatnot, is there gonna be any, again?
Well, again, it's,
Good
it's
point.
the resources that we have. How can we serve the most in our community with the resources that we have? And that's the only way I know how to do it, is and the reality is too, especially right now, people are not coming to us or to anyone. You have to go to them, so.
I have my question. At, the Boys and Girls Club and Parker Bennett, you said we have a collection. What does that mean?
Of books, we're taking books to those that will be housed at those locations.
And they can check them out,
Yes,
so it's like a little
mini libraries.
Okay, thank you.
And we had, before the shutdown hit, we had already started a book club at the Boys and Girls Club, so that was already in the works as well. And that's been a great partnership.
And, they have the physical space to serve more people during the COVID time
Yes, they
anyway,
do.
because Graham is so tiny.
It is.
And, even with distancing, how many people could be on a computer at the same
One.
time?
Not many.
Like, two?
Well, if nobody's at the checkout desk, you could probably get two in there.
Okay.
One at the very end and one at the very each end,
But if you have a staff person there, you can't even do that, so I know that's a temporary thing, but it certainly plays into
Well, it's
us
temporary,
keeping
but
the
it's-
building going.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so that is what the letter is in reference
And
to.
the Boys and Girls Club and the community center both have adult supervision,
Yes,
whereas the library, that's not what the staff is there for.
right.
But they end up doing a
But-
lot of that.
Right, unless it's an organized program, but still.
Well, and we've been having to take our programs, any large programs we want to try to do, to the Boys and Girls Club and to the community center anyway. So it
Which
just
you probably would have to
makes a
regardless
lot
of
of
COVID, just because of the space, if it was very large.
pardon.
Because of the space which you, pre-COVID,
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes,
And we have
absolutely.
been.
We have been, yes.
right,
And the other problem we had was if we would try to do our own even smaller one, if we didn't coordinate with Boys and Girls Club, they might be doing some same things and be serving the same audience, so we wouldn't have anybody show up for our program.
So you're duplicating anyway.
Right.
Well, and that was, there's, again, there's so many, we try to build a program on Tuesday night and then something else would pop up in the neighborhood on Tuesday night. So then we'd switch it to Thursday night and something else would pop up.
So you're always chasing it.
So you're always chasing that same group of kids, so we are very excited about the possibility of the people we can serve with the new model that we're looking at, so.
And that's what we're gonna focus on.
That's what we are going to focus on. Let's see. You may have seen our Project Lit program on Facebook or around,
The unsocial.
the unsocial event.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got
That
some
was
really
a
good,
fantastic event.
Yeah, we got some really good responses to that too.
Yeah. Dr. Dye, Lucretia Dye, has been fabulous to work with, and Chris Page at Shake Rag Barbershop has been really receptive to working with us on events. And that one went so well. I mean, rarely do you have a book club event where everybody's actually read the book and has feelings about the book, but that was one of those occasions. So that
Great.
sparked some additional.
What was
book
most
club.
of the age that people came to that?
Interestingly enough, it was, there were a lot of young, probably middle school,
Okay.
a lot of middle school kids there, I would say. And then up to their parent age, there weren't a lot, and a senior set, which I would include myself in, but, sort of kids and parent
Uh-huh.
in that age range, which is a hard group to hit.
It is. to
But
hit
this
both of
book
them.
is really, really good. And a lot of those young girls got it, we did some readings, but they also got up and talked about what their dreams were. and a lot of those young girls got up and talked about what their dreams were, which again, you don't always get in programs like that. So, and there was enough interest among them that they're continuing, and they're gonna do a monthly discussion group. It won't be as involved as this particular one, they'll do those but we've been doing something around that quarterly.
Is Laura Beth kind of in?
Laura Beth and Veronica.
Yeah. That's two great people. Laura
Yes.
Beth is really a good drawer outer.
Yes. She is. And Jennifer was a big part of that project too, so.
Good.
We've also been working on a couple of other things, the book sale. I met with the Friends Board last week or week before. And they have been struggling with what to do about a book sale. So I suggested perhaps waiting until the spring. And so that, we are giving them the spring slot for the book sale. So they're very excited about not having to worry about making that decision now. But they did have a donation of some tools. One of the former board members, board presidents, her husband passed away, and he had a lot of tools that she wanted to know if they could donate and have a sale of tools. And so they're considering doing that one day, like in this space perhaps, as like a yard sale almost of
You know,
tools.
that space downtown where they have the farmer's market
Soaky
under that
Marketplace?
roof, that would be maybe a place.
It would be, yeah,
That's where we do bingo and
yeah, it's
stuff.
just that everything would have to be transported and.
Yeah, oh, and that's so much fun.
So, yeah. Well, I explored all the possibilities for the book sale,
Uh-huh.
because we have done them off-site before. And I talked with Derek Olive, is now back in charge of the Nicely Center, and he worked out really a good deal for us to do it there. But they really don't wanna move it out of here, and
I
I
get
think
that,
they're
too.
very nervous about doing anything right now anyway, and I don't blame them for that.
Right, I don't
They're all a little bit older, and so.
either. Good, word just keeps coming up today.
I know.
We're all a little.
We're all a little older.
No.
But then we also, as I was researching sort of possibilities, one that we discussed was doing like a separate children's book sale. And they really like the idea of doing that separate from the whole book sale too. So those are some things that they are exploring. They did have a big enough reserve. I said, we've always talked about a rainy day fund, but everybody's gonna have to rename it the pandemic fund. 'Cause they're dipping into that, so they're still supporting summer reading this year, even though they're missing out on their big fundraiser this year. The other thing, Book Fest. And I talked to Gayla a little bit about this today. You know, I met with Jennifer and Courtney, and I are probably the ones who really put Book Fest together. And nobody wants to commit right now. We had already paid for our headliners for last year, and so what we think is that will be it for Book Fest next year, is that we will have our headliners and not 100 authors coming in, because there's just not gonna be time to plan it. It's such a big undertaking. So that's the direction that we're heading in towards Book Festival. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Couldn't tell behind the mask.
Yeah, I
That
know.
was-
I'm just thinking, I just hate that, but there's no really other way around it.
Yeah, I do too.
To do it justice.
But our standalone events are rock solid when they're going on.
They are.
And
Yeah.
so, I think
So this will be rock
It'll be
solid.
fine.
It'll just be
fine.
different.
It'll just be different, yep. And lastly, something I wanted to mention was, I don't know if you know, Allison Bemis. You know Allison. She's this great educator, and she posted something, it was nurses that had made buttons with their faces on it, so that their patients would know what they look like behind their mask.
Yeah.
And
I
Allison.
saw that.
Yes.
The teachers.
Mm-hmm. So
Yes.
we offered to do buttons for teachers, and I don't know, we're in the 300s right now.
It's a hit.
It's a hit. It is
I just
huge.
think that
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
I saw a teacher with a T-shirt that had his face
Oh,
on it for that very same
Yeah.
reason, you know, so the little kids wouldn't be afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting used to masks, but still, whoever that idea, that
But the
technique
person-
is awesome.
Somebody did put one, I think it was Pam Summer put one on. in front of
Really?
us.
Oh, really?
But it was so, I was so focused on that, I couldn't get the warmth of her eyes, you know?
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't feel like I was
Mhm.
connecting
Yeah.
with her. But daycares have been doing it, schools,
Yeah.
other libraries have picked it up, I think Martin's
Yeah,
picked it up.
somebody asked about Allen County, so I contacted their director and she said, yes, we'd be happy to do it. Somebody contacted Barron County and they said, no, we don't wanna do it. So we're gonna do at least one elementary school in Glasgow.
I love that.
So.
You know, for my birthday this year, Bailey gave me
I
a button.
saw that button. It was awesome.
And I wore it with pride.
Yeah.
It was happy birthday, today's my birthday button.
Yeah.
So I love that.
So
I just think that's amazing.
I just feel like at this point, anything we can do to make people's life just this much better.
Are we already making them?
Mhm.
Are we putting WC?
We have not been, no.
He's not putting any text on any of them
No.
that I've seen.
What if we put warrenpl.org?
Well, the problem with that is it would take a lot longer to
Yeah.
design.
I
I mean,
just-
we'd have to go in, right now, we just take their picture and
Yeah.
print it. but
Maybe
we'd
on
have
the
to-
back.
The bag that they're going out in, it has it on there.
All right, I guess I'll take that.
The kids don't know, but the teachers know. And I've just gotten several really nice comments
I
about it.
bet.
So it's.
Well, I'll
that's
tell
just-
you all a comment because now you said that word and I have to not forget it. So I'm talking to one of my friends who moved to North Carolina a few years ago, and we were talking something about the library. She lives in Farrington, North Carolina, which is a real educated-y kind of place, a retirement-y deal, that they think they're better than everybody else pretty much everywhere. And she said that they have a fabulous library, but what they're doing during this COVID time doesn't even hold a candle to what Warren County is doing. And I've heard that from my friend in Illinois also who follows us. And I just think that we have such a treasure, and when you hear it from people outside of our little pocket here, you really notice.
I was just with
Appreciate it.
folks who recently moved here, Kansas. Their son and one of my grandsons about what they did at the library there, which I've never thought of. So it was the biggest hit ever. It's a doll. Is it American Girl?
American
Oh, yeah,
Girl.
American
Yeah.
Girl?
Yeah.
That they have those that they lend.
Oh, really?
Of adult
And
films.
said there is a
Oh,
list.
because they have all the books that go
Yeah.
with
There's a list.
I might
He
have
said
to-
you may wait a month, 2
Wow.
months
Mhm.
to get that
to
doll.
get your doll for the week. So then by the time you get it, they've got the tea parties planned, everything. Said it was the biggest hit. And these girls of that age group, it was, they'd get on the list, get me
These
on the
kids are
list.
big
Yeah.
into that.
Because the dolls are expensive.
They
Yes,
are.
and
And
not
so a lot of
everybody
kids
gets to
can't
have
get
it.
them.
Right,
But
yeah.
this way they have it for a week or
That's
10
cool.
days or whatever. And so she suggested, since she knew I was on the board, just to pass it on. Obviously, it's nothing we could do now. You couldn't
Right, but
lend
down the
something to get it
road,
back.
But, yeah,
How cool
but now's
is
the
that?
time we could be getting them.
yeah, gathering
And getting
all
them
that
ready to
together,
circulate.
getting the books,
We,
making
actually-
the whole
yeah.
basket of it.
pretty
You know,
cool.
they would
We're
get
starting to
some
circulate
incredible
more and more
emails.
odd things. We've got some water play things that we're gonna start circulating, and, we're just waiting for the tubs to put them in, to come in. So there's, I think that's a great idea.
Oh, I do
Yeah.
too, I
Maybe
love
we
that.
could do tea parties.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just file it back and do it in the spring.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's a great idea, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, Scott, our new HR person, I had a meeting with Veronica and Courtney the other day, and Jennifer, and it was pretty much me saying, you all are doing a great job, they're stressed about not doing enough, and I'm going, you don't have to do anything more than what we're doing now. We can keep up the pace we're going, we're good, don't even try to think about.
They're doing more than anybody.
That's-
Yeah.
I know.
Absolutely.
And people keep saying to me, you're making the rest of us look bad.
That's
You
right.
hold off.
No.
And Scott, so they left after that meeting. Scott said, I've never worked anywhere where the boss said, slow down. Yeah. Well, I didn't exactly say slow down, but I said,
Don't fret.
don't fret. Yeah. So anyway,
Well, I hope they all know that we support that 100%.
they do.
And what they're doing is being seen
Yeah.
beyond just the people that we serve here. Okay? Is that it
Yes,
for
yes.
director?
Mhm.
Did you want, okay, well, did y'all read that, you haven't seen yours, but the team reports were just amazing, and we didn't even have anything from court,
I know.
who probably would write this
It's been
much
everywhere.
more.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. I love the name of our genealogical resource, Root and Twig.
Yeah.
Is that hysterical or what? I love that. And let's see, there were a couple of things.
The
Of course,
new,
it's
the
marked
new
on my
databases
paper.
that we've added too, if you are interested in genealogy or just
All
history
the
in general,
newspapers and
the,
stuff.
yeah, newspaper.com, we got a sample of it, and I always Google my great-grandfather because his name is so bizarre. His name was Cicero Rice, and so there's never a bunch of them.
There should be
If
a
you pull up an
song.
article, it's him, you know. And within 15 minutes, I'd found his and my great-grandmother's engagement announcement, and he was a doctor, so I found 2 articles about him working on a typhus outbreak and a smallpox outbreak, and I mean, it is really,
Oh, that's
it is
so
really
cool.
great, yeah. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff at all, check out newspapers.com.
I love that. Well, I was just blown away, as always, with everything that's in the team reports. You guys see that our, was it Monster was broken into?
That's a different one.
That's-
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Is
the
our
local-
little car?
No, it's the
The even
bookmobile.
bigger one.
Oh, it got broken, that's what got broken into?
Yes.
Oh. So anyway, they didn't, tear anything up, they just stole some worthless things out of it. They had to replace a window. Probably not real high on the,
Could have been a lot
Bowling-
worse.
Yeah, on the Bowling Green Police Department.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was great. I mean, I was just, I always love reading the team reports because they always blow me away. Okay, any new biz?
Nope.
Okay, wish us luck tomorrow at 9.
Yes.
That's Abraham. Any other business? Motion for adjournment? Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Jim. All in favor, say aye. Thank you all for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Also, after the meeting, not to go in the meeting, but